Welcome to MediaWhorz. I'm Caveman, and today we're going to kick off a block of video game movies with the film adaptation of the Super Mario Bros. Video games. It came out in 1993, and my god, it's a shit-ba-bomb. Well, fuck. Let's just throw it to the round table.
Why did you make us watch this?
Because I like to watch you suffer.
To be fair, it's not the worst video game movie that I've ever seen.
It's one of the best video game movie adaptations I've ever seen.
I'm not sure about that.
I didn't say it was the best, just one of the best.
Okay. However, their grip on science is extremely tenuous because in this film, a comet colliding with the Earth ripped a hole in the space-time continuum.
Well, if the energy were indirectly channeled into a wormhole...
Professor Nerd, you can indirectly channel the wormhole that is my ass.
Well, let's take a second look at our main characters, Mario, and Luigi Mario.
The Mario Brothers. That was never meant to be taken that literally. That's just dumb.
A 3-year-old would find this idiotic.
And I'd give him a cookie.
Fuck it, I'd give him a jet ski. But no, it was decided that Mario, and Luigi Mario would be the right names. They even tried to make a joke about this.
No. A joke implies some semblance of humor. I therefore reject your assertion that it was a joke.
Luigi?
No, Luigi Mario.
Okay, look, how many Marios are there between the two of you?
There's three. It's Mario, and Luigi Mario.
The basic plot is that a chick, Princess Daisy, came to our dimension from another. Though she doesn't know it, and she's wearing a crystal that could spell the end of humanity. Bowser kidnaps her, and Luigi and Mario have to go rescue her from the castle.
Why do I feel that description resembles the vision of Escaflowne on shrooms?
Was it all just a dream? Or maybe a vision? No, it couldn't have been. I know it really happened.
So, yeah, when it's not being dull or stupid, it's being confusing.
What confuses you?
How about the stupid evolution lecture where they somehow evolved from dinosaurs to New Yorkers? The animation was so bad, it was almost intentionally bad.
It must have been intentionally bad. Some of the stuff was better animated. Look at Yoshi. Just look at Yoshi. Look at him. Oh god, Yoshi, why?
Oh god, how was that Yoshi?
It was a fucking velociraptor with a toad tongue and a big fucking head.
I know, a green bulbous dinosaur isn't the most logical thing in the world, but come on!
Here, I'm gonna outline a basic idea for a Mario movie. Mario's chilling with Luigi, gets a letter saying the princess has been kidnapped, and goes to search for the princess. Now let's look at the plot for this movie. The princess has been kidnapped. They meet reptiles that have been turned into New Yorkers in a city that is the only safe place to live on the planet.
That's made out of fungus.
Where the only way we can actually do combat with people is by stealing flamethrowers and rocket shoes. Meet a fat black chick and flirt with her to get the item of power that is nestled betwixt her cleavage. Then rescue the princess not from a castle, but from a tower filled with Goomba that you make dance ever so gently in the elevator by grabbing them and rocking them because you're trying to be stealthy. Fucking Christ!
Oh, you forgot.
Anything I forget, I want to remain forgotten. Fucking elevators movie.
Are we gonna ignore the fact that the way that he makes henchmen is by shrinking their heads? I'm sorry, but if I can kill your henchman with an apple, there's a problem.
Hey, this might be a good look for me.
I don't even understand how this movie came into existence. I know at the time, video games weren't always constructed to have that much narrative complexity, but of all the options, the only reason this got made was because Super Mario was popular.
This movie's entire purpose was to con kids into getting their parents to spend their money and then being entirely disappointed as Mario and Luigi met the Mushroom King.
The toadstool asshole.
He was actually kind of cool.
No, I mean he looks like an asshole. Maybe we should talk about the plot now.
We already covered the plot twice.
It's not deep, my friend.
Let's talk about the characters. You've got Mario, who is a little overweight, kinda short, and has no personality.
who's played by Bob Hoskins.
Isn't he British?
Yep.
I was right.
Then we've got Luigi, played by John Leguizamo, Colombian. That's close to being Italian, right?
Plus we have Daisy, who is not a true princess. She's an archaeologist, and she's one of the best actresses in this. The only one who was better was Big Bertha.
Big Bertha was just a throwaway role.
She rocked that shit!
She did.
And then the biggest crime of the whole movie.
The Hopper!
King Koopa, played by Dennis Hopper.
Look at this fucking shit we're in, man.
Honestly, the setting was kind of cool. It was just the way they used it that was stupid.
I thought it looked like foot fungus.
Yeah, but if you scraped away the fungus, underneath was a pretty good set, and when they explained the fungus, it made sense.
It didn't seem expensive, and it didn't have much of an identity.
Honestly, it looked kind of like Blade Runner covered in fungus.
Now that I think about it, you're right. It's like we're viewing it through a scanner dumbly by Philip K. Dick Cheese.
And the rail cars don't make any sense.
Oh yeah, there was a huge-ass car chase with those things.
That was one expensive rail network.
Honestly, some of the gadgets were kind of cool. Like the rocket boots, though they didn't jump high enough. Mario can jump 27 feet into the air. It's been calculated.
Wow! You're right! All of a sudden, this film doesn't seem loyal to its source material!
Though I didn't like the substitution of the fire flower for the flamethrower, because the flamethrower looks like shit, and they were used ineffectually. Anyway, Koopa is trying to bring his army to Earth so that he can turn all of humanity into monkeys
And take over the world!
I may not have the most confidence in law enforcement, but I'm pretty sure they can handle a single file line of these dumbasses.
Here's the thing. Mario doesn't really have a plot. The princess is in another castle. I don't know how you would translate that into a plot-centric medium like film.
It could be. They just have to write in all the things in between Mario and the princess. All the character and reasoning behind everything. Hell, they threw out a lot of what made Mario Mario.
Actually, they went a step further and made Mario, Mario, Mario.
Well, that can be excused to some point. I mean, there weren't that many games at this point to give Mario character. He wasn't anywhere near as fleshed out as he is today.
Hell, he still isn't fleshed out. Mario is a blunt instrument. Luigi is the one with character.
Why did Luigi? No offense. But he seemed special. He felt like that special little brother.
You're saying he took the short pipe to school?
Their attempts to build characters outside of the Koopa Kingdom were horrible. Like that goddamn double date dinner scene.
I actually thought that was kind of silly.
Oh! Silly!
What did you expect me to say?
I thought I was gonna have to punch you.
I don't like romance. And that was a horrible attempt. I can tolerate good attempts.
Hell, you've outright enjoyed good attempts. Nothing in this film works. Though I do think it's somewhat amusing in the way that it doesn't work. It's sort of like a horrific 5-car pileup consisting solely of clown cars.
They went from point A to point B to point Q, and they didn't explain any of it. They shouldn't have thrown Mario into a brand new world, but used him as an audience proxy. And I'm always looking for an audience proxy in worlds I don't understand.
Especially Luigi. You needed to explain stuff to him.
Fuck Luigi! He was talking to fungus throughout the movie.
At least Mario got some useful stuff out of the fungus. He kept finding Babam keychains in the fungus.
They were like the least threatening enemies in the later games.
They were like the most threatening thing ever in the movie. It was like having 30 pounds of C4.
In the first act, they tried to set up a plot. But the later acts, I was just so bored and confused that I just couldn't follow what was going on.
Nothing looked like it was supposed to. Even Mario and Luigi's costumes were wrong. The Mushroom Kingdom was wrong. There were no warp pipes. The bomb was a tiny little tinker toy that they got from a toy store for 59 cents.
To some extent, you've got to forgive them somewhat because of the time period and the budget, but that was still pretty bad.
Let's just end this. I have watched a lot of bad movies. This is one of them. When I watched this movie as a child, I missed the first 15 minutes. At that time, I thought it was a mediocre sci-fi film. I didn't find out it was a Mario Brothers movie until much later. Then I got angry. Then I got over it. It's not like it tainted my childhood. It was still disappointing to say the least, and I'm not talking about when I first watched it. I'm talking about how hundreds of children must have felt. It was bland and uninteresting. The few jokes I laughed at didn't make up for it. If I'm cracking jokes at two of the most influential characters of my youth, talking about Mario and Bowser here, then there's something wrong. Yes, I should crack a joke or two, that's who I am. But the battle between Bowser and Mario is one for the ages. Do it right for Christ's sake. Someone call a plumber, because I've got a huge-ass turd clogging the pipes. 3 out of 10. Oh, and fuck you for sequel baiting at the very end.
I've never been given any reason to believe there is a good video game movie adaptation. There are some that are okay, but this is not one of them. Aside from the fact that their attempt at a plot fails miserably, the effects weren't that good and the acting was mediocre, even though they had talented actors. I couldn't crack any jokes because I was so damned bored. It's not terrible, it's just bad. You should be ashamed. That's 4 out of 10.
This movie was bad. I remember watching this when I was young and said, "What is this piece of crap?" So I checked the TV guide. When I first saw it, back in the day when we used TV guides, I saw it was Mario Brothers and exclaimed, "Wow, this is bad." Then I gave it a try a few years later thinking, this might be nope, still crap. Then my compadre said, "We're going to watch this movie," and I responded, "Why are you making me watch this crap? Still crap." So, over the course of 15 years, consistent crap. This movie is bad. And only recently have I been able to appreciate how bad this was. The effects, crap. I see a lot of talent in this movie. Maybe 1 or 2 of them putting forth actual effort. And then I see quite a few actors with talent not giving a crap about their performance. I'm looking at you, Hopper and Leguizamo. That explanation we get at the beginning was bullshit. I'm gonna give this a turd blossom. 3 out of 10. This is a nicely coiled turd on my front lawn.
This movie is not good. Or good adjacent. Or within 50 miles of good. But it's not truly horrible either. It's actually relatively forgettable, which is strange when you consider the nature of this film. I don't know what was going through the creators' minds. Lungs or veins, I might have an idea. But their minds, I have no clue. This is a very strange film, but ultimately it left little to no impression on me. I gotta go with a "you should be ashamed." That's 4 out of 10 for me.
Well, with 2 you should be ashamed ratings and 2 turd blossoms, the MediaWhorz rating is you should be ashamed. So I'm gonna go take a monkey wrench to Mario's head.
You can indirectly channel the wormhole that is my ass.
Oh my.